So now I was asking you then, would you introduce a transgender, if you had a transgender friend, would you introduce your transgender friend to your kids?
If that guy or that person was my friend, I'll minimize the interaction, and if they're interacting, I'll always be there, because I'll have to monitor, like, what are they feeding to my kids.
What are they feeding to your kids? So like if this person was not transgender, you would not do the same thing when they're around your kids.
Yeah.
So that subconsciously shows that you'll still be 100% cautious over such people over your children.
Yeah, I would, because I would want. For me, I don't believe that a person just wakes up and you just realize that you're supposed to be a woman, yet you're born a guy. I don't believe that just happens. And if I raise my kids to believe that, that's wrong. Those are principles I don't believe in. Yeah.
That you don't believe in someone having potentially a gender identity issue.
No, that's not normal in my world.
In a lot of our worlds, but now I'd say that would you now at the same time, if one of your children told you, Mom, I feel like I'm not a girl, I'm a boy. I want to transition from being a girl to being a boy.
I personally don't believe I'll understand that, to be honest, Mark. Like, what would you take? What would you do? I'll let the child believe, yes, but I still wouldn't understand.
I'd actually not, I wouldn't say not condone, but I'd say I would not fund it. If they're going to transition on their own money, well and good.
Yeah.
On their own money, well and good. Me, I'll still support you because it's my child. I won't throw it away and you can't have another one.
Yes.
But one thing that many people even forget about this whole transgender thing is like when this person changes their gender, it's like you've lost a child. Like it's like you've lost a person, you know.
Yeah.
Because they don't become exactly the same person that they were. Imagine that you're seeing your daughter now, she's grown a beard, you know, and it's a person who you brought up as a child, calling her what? As a girl, you know, or seeing a guy now he has boobs and hips and hair flowing down and stuff like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't disown them. That's a fact.
Personally,
even
same
if
thing. I would not.
Me that they are lesbians or they become gay, I wouldn't disown them.
Personally, same thing. I wouldn't disown them, but I would not. They wouldn't transition on my money though. I wouldn't enable it.
Okay,
like
yeah,
saying
that's
that.
fair enough.
I think for me, one thing when it comes to and I was telling someone is that I'm an ally of the LGBTQ community, meaning an ally is a straight person who supports the LGBTQ community and also extends some of the privileges that we straight people have to them, you know, so that now you create a space, safe space for these people to be themselves, for these people to nurture whatever gifts or whatever that they want to nurture, and you don't judge them or treat them any different because of their sexual orientation. Because one thing I always tell people, and you know, I'm saying this as a male because especially men tend to have a lot of problems. You'll find guys having problems with gay guys, you know, and just the same way women have problems with lesbians.
Really?
But I feel women don't have as much problems with lesbians as men have problems with gay guys. And I strongly say this person has not chosen to go to bed with you. You know, because, and some of the gay people and lesbian people that are around are actually even more morally upright than us straight people. It's such a shock. Like, you will not find them cheating on each other foolishly.
We are not mentioning names.
They, them. Maze,
Yeah.
hey, they, them. They, them did somebody dirty.
Yeah.
They, them. So, you know, you're going to find, though they do have issues like that, they still have normal relationship, but it's not something, it's not a ground to discriminate someone
Yeah.
on, you know, because of who they choose to go to bed with. That is none of your business. It has not been you. Si ati ni wewe ndio wamekuja wamekutisha kwenda bed na wewe.
Yeah.
You know,
If they do that, that's
if
a
they do,
different
if they do,
story.
that's a different story,
Yeah.
and that's why now you have to draw your line and say, me siko hapo, but me I support you.
Yeah.
You know, and supporting them means that you don't bash them. It means that when they have forums with them, when they have forums, you, and maybe it's a place for artistic things or something, you attend them,
Yeah.
you show them support,
Yeah.
you do business with them, you allow them to be a part of your life as people, normal people. That is hard, I know, I can tell you for real it's hard, but you have to let them be a part of your life as people, and knowing that it's just the way wewe unaweza kufia boy msidanisi na labda mtu mwingine hata approve of it. So someone shouldn't be able to judge you because umekufia boy msidanisi.
Yeah.
You get, or umekufia someone who's of a different community, or you fall in love with a white guy
Yeah.
and you're black,
Yeah.
because I don't see how different we are saying that, oh my god, racism, and you're busy trying to, you're being judgmental to gay people. Please remember, blacks are still a minority in the United States, yes?
Yeah.
They're not the majority population. So when you become racist, when you say you don't subscribe to racism and you don't support LGBTQ, it's like you're preaching water and you're drinking wine. You don't, support does not necessarily mean that, oh yes, you can say you're now pro LGBTQ. No, it means that you treat them as normal people. You treat them as members of the society because they are members of the society. You show them love because you're supposed to love regardless. Even Jesus loves them in as much as you think he doesn't. By the, let me tell you, kwanza, the thing that pisses me off is you find so many Kenyans acting holier than thou. They tell you, oh, you know the Bible, the Quran says, and you are the one who's busy there committing adultery, shamelessly.
Yeah.
Shamelessly sleeping
hakuna
with someone's
difference.
wife.
There's no difference
Please
between you
note.
and them.
Please note kwa 10 commandments hakuna thou shall not be gay. Please note that.
No,
Hakuna
but the Bible.
No, the Bible does speak about, but it's not in the
homosexuality.
Bible says in the book of Deuteronomy that a man should not have sexual relations with another man. God hates it.
Yeah.
That's all it says. Haiko kwa 10 commandments. But adultery, my friend, is in the 10 commandments. Imeketi hapo number 6. Thou shall not commit adultery. So honey, Christian, holier than thou, who is committing adultery and judging
not
a
any
gay
better.
person, nyote if you're going to hell, mnapatana wote huko, mtakaribishana tu vizuri mkiwa wawili.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that you need to learn, that you are not put on this earth to judge anyone.
Yeah.
And the same way that you do not want to be judged by anyone is the same way you should not judge anyone. I personally say I have so many LGBTQ friends. So many.
Okay, you say that you treat them as human as possible. Which, yes, they are human.
Treat
They
them
are
like
people.
normal people.
They are normal people. So if they're hanging, you let them hang around your kids.
Yes, I
Mentor your
would. Yes, I would. Family, I'd say yes, I would. Because I'm sure the people that who of the LGBTQ community who are my friends are virtuous people. They are respectable people. They are people who honor themselves and honor their bodies and honor their relationships. And those are virtues that I want my kids to have.
Okay, for me, I'll be scared that maybe they will instill their ideology of life to my kids.
Honey, you don't need to be scared anymore. Cartoons are doing that for you. Trust me, your kids will be. Cartoons nowadays have 2 dads and 2 moms. I mean,
Yeah.
Superman the other day in the comic is bisexual. So,
What?
yeah. Anyone who follows comics like me, you know what we mean. So, your kids already know about being gay and being lesbian by TV already. Even before
the
you introduce,
cartoon.
by the cartoons they've watched, even before you introduce them.
Movies.
Even movies.
Parents should be really careful.
Even movies. Are you going to not make your kid watch cartoons?
They will.
They will.
And even if I manage to restrict what they are watching,
Please
Then
remember, even
the
when you go
water
outside,
and
even when they go outside,
Yeah.
they're going to go to schools
They
and they'll see
interact.
kids being picked by 2 dads
Yeah.
and kids being picked by 2 moms.
Yeah.
So it's something that if you
you
say that
cannot prevent it.
if you say that you're going to be afraid because they're going to find out, sorry, they'll already find out through cartoons.
and the
Through cartoons.
and the interactions
And
in the
the
outside
internet
world.
and Instagram. So by the time your friend is coming to meet your kids, they're already aware.
Yeah.
You know, and it's something that you can't. That's why I say, and I might sound sarcastic when I'm laughing about it, but it's the truth. And people need to be aware we are in a global society,
Yeah.
and even in workplaces nowadays, you will find members of LGBTQ who are in boards, senior boards, who are in very many places to promote inclusivity at work. And we can't fight this struggle of being black or being African or being whatever if we want to sideline these people and say they don't exist
Yeah.
and say we are going to treat them differently. I even said, you know, there's something when I went to Staffmos trip yenu mlienda wapi? Oh, yetu tulikuwa na the department. Poleni sana. Kama mko. Yeah. We went to the US. Us
It
went
was
to the
France,
US.
I think.
And when we went to the US, we even saw our hotel was near a hospital for LGBTQ people.
Hospital.
Yes,
Just-
hospital. Yes, in New York. Hotel ndio hii, hospital ya LGBTQ ndio hii, church ya Latter-day Saints ndio hii. You know, and it's one thing, these people, please remember, some of your husbands and some of your wives are rolling with these members of this community because they are closeted. Yeah?
Yeah.
So when some of these members of the society don't get access to some of the specific reproductive health services that they need, they are vulnerable to spreading diseases, even to us straight people.
Yeah.
Please remember, even HIV and AIDS started among the LGBTQ community when it started. But now, even statistics show that most people who are sick with HIV and AIDS are heterosexual couples. Most people who are sick, who are suffering from HIV and AIDS are straight. They are straight. Straight men, straight women, not LGBTQ. Why? It's because of those aspects. It's because of those closeted. And people
Yeah.
become closeted because they fear that you will not accept it. They fear that you're going to treat them differently. They fear you're going to deny them certain rights that they deserve.
Yeah.
And as a result, because tena wako na hiyo, they need to express themselves, they are going to find avenues to do it. It's just the way when when we say we're making abortion illegal,
Yeah.
when people feel pressured and they feel they need to have an abortion, they'll go through the illegal method.
Yeah.
And they're harmful.
Yeah.
Someone ends up perforating their uterus and dying,
Yeah.
bleeding to death and dying. Same thing with LGBTQ. They end something like anal sex. Anal sex is the riskiest sexual behavior that is there because the anus is such a vulnerable body part. Yeah? So mtu akishaenda kufirwa huko ameokota hiyo ni ni ukweli, like when someone goes and has anal intercourse, remember they are having the most vulnerable sex, you see.
Yeah.
And so these people both partners are exposed to vulnerable, because it's vulnerable diseases. So catching stuff like HIV where people have not protected themselves, where people are reckless, because you'll find, maybe a lot of them, if you've actually interacted with LGBTQ people, you'll find some of them, the closeted ones, they have to get drunk or to get mentally inhibited to partake in such activities. Yeah?
Like activities with the
Like you'll find like a dude who wants to fuck another dude is going to drink a lot, ndio alewe, then he can do it. And when they're under this, because of the guilty conscience aspect, because of culture, how culture has brought people up, and now you'll find because of that, some not all members of the community, some engage in that risky behavior, and it ends up catching stuff. And that person, most probably, you'll find possibly is married to a woman. Take that to his wife maybe ameanza kurealize mwanaume anachita tayari, akasema revenge, house boy ama shamba boy ako na girlfriend anahanya, chain reaction.
It's too sad.
So it's very crucial that, personally, I believe LGBTQ people should have a seat in the government, like as a minority group. They also need access to medical care.
They don't?
No, not specialized access for them. The way like us, the way you can go to a gynae.
Yeah.
Like even them, they need to have that freedom to go to a hospital and get treated for.
But I'm sure there are.
Ni chini ya maji.
Yeah, ni chini ya maji, of course.
Sasa wale wako ushago watafanya nini? Si wa Nairobi wanakwanga sawa juu money works, but wa ushago watafanya nini? We're not looking at Nairobi only, we're looking at the whole country, because LGBTQ members are not only in Nairobi, they're everywhere in the whole country.
Yeah.
You see? So we need to be cognizant that it's a group that is there, and they should not be treated as a group. A specific group. They need to be treated as normal human beings. Like, it should not matter to you if a man walks in here with a pass and he's like, oh my god, it should not matter to you. You should not treat that person differently because they're different from you. You should not. You should treat them with utmost respect and treat them the way you treat any other normal person. You get? And for me, that's why I say I would allow them near my kids. Definitely. Because the LGBTQ members who are my friends are people who are respectable, they're people who are honorable, they're people who are virtuous, they're people who work hard for their money, and they're people who are people of their words. Those are characters you need to instill in your kids, than bringing some of your adulterous friends who are leading you astray in your marriage, all in the name of being straight. Respect yourself.
I think you've changed my point of view on that, because I don't know anyone from that community, and my let me call it judgment. My judgment to them is based on what I've heard out there.
It's true. And it's a beautiful thing for you to unlearn, because even I myself unlearned. I unlearned by interacting with them. And let me tell you, when you meet some of the great members of that community, they're so compassionate to educate you and to bring it into perspective to you. Because for me, I can tell you, because I've talked about how I was a plus-sized jama, I was a big guy, yeah? The way I felt when I was being bullied by those rugby players, and I was being made to feel like I'm less of a human being, I would never ever want anyone to ever feel like that because they were different in any form or way, or because of a choice that they made. That's a pain that you will never, like for me, you can see whenever I see any rugby player or any person who is related to rugby, whether ex-player, whether current player, whether future player or anything, anyone who identifies with rugby, it pains my heart. I can't even stand a relationship with them to that point. So imagine inflicting that pain on someone knowingly, you know. And I feel we need to get to that point where you need to be what Jesus said, your brother's keeper, and not inflict pain on people knowingly. You know, because even me, those rugby players that made me self-loathe my body, they themselves were big. They were not small, they were big. But they used their privilege in a wrong way, and now it's made me become embittered with the whole community. See, and for me, I don't think I'd ever get to a point where I'd accept a rugby player in any form or forum or anything. You know,
but you do have friends.
I've said I have two very close friends of mine who are rugby players.
Yes.
One actually is a coach, then the other one is a rugby player. And I'd say, you know, like for me, I try to slowly grow. I wouldn't say that I've gotten better in terms of like my interactions with Bufa and with Patrice. By the way, Patrice Agunda is one of the people who I can tell you for sure that is one person who, out of everyone in Kenya Harlequins, like, that is one virtuous person that I will vouch for like this with blood. He's one of the most virtuous people. And I'd say, and you see he's been a rugby player and he's now a rugby coach and stuff. And I can tell you as a person, those two examples of my friends are incredible human beings. You know, they're great human beings. And when I interact with them, it's been a learning curve, it's been a growing process. They've helped me sort of slowly unlearn.
Yeah, I was about to ask you that. So I'm learning that not all rugby players are bad. And
I'd say they've helped me unlearn unlearn some of these things. You know, still I'm still very guarded when it comes to them because of my own experiences. But I have slowly unlearned and learned how to kind of like, personally for me, the policy I started adopting with them is, if you don't have anything positive to say or anything at all, shut the fuck up. So it's true. Like for me, if there's a rugby player amekuja tu kwa changing room ya gym, God forbid, na niko, I don't say anything. I don't. Hata akinisalimia na lenga, personally. Because I'd rather keep quiet than say something violent. Because you know, when the thing that people forget about words is that anger, how anger inaishanga, hiyo kukasirika and everything, it dissipates. But how you make someone feel will always remain with them. If someone felt disrespected, even 10 years from now, they'll always feel disrespected by you. It doesn't change regardless of anything. So that's why many people should measure their words correctly. Because when you don't measure your words correctly, you will just end up saying something that is going to hurt someone for the rest of their life. Every time they see you, how they felt when you said whatever you said will come back. 100% to come back. So for me, because I want to avoid that, because I said, you remember what I've just said before, don't hurt people knowingly. I say nothing at all. And silence speaks volumes. By the ukilenganga mtu anapatanga tu neno haraka haraka that you are not interested. So for me, I always do that. I'd rather keep quiet, fikiria vile unataka kufikiria, ni shida yako, but I did not say anything that was going to destroy this person. You know, and that's what all of you people should do. Because as we say, you will not like everyone. Not everyone likes everyone. You will not like everyone. You see, may I've given my example, I don't like rugby players. I don't even like rugby. Let me tell you for one serious guy, Jesus Christ. And even, let me tell you, I did a leap of faith in September, and I watched Bufa play international. I watched Bufa play the Olympics, and I watched Bufa play Vancouver Sevens. And I tell you, that was a leap of faith, because it was, first of all, I was watching that game. I was watching him play when I was on the verge of tears, because I was just remembering everything that these other rugby players had done to me. And at the same time, I was watching it with a smile, because I was like, now I've started conquering this. Because one thing about being friends with someone is you need to be able to support your friend in whatever they choose to do and whatever makes them happy. For Bufa, rugby makes him happy. At rugby, he's at home, and you can't change that about him, you see. And he's a friend of mine. He has very good dogs, by the way, and he has a very good heart. Like, let me tell you, if you need to meet a rugby player who has a great heart, it's that one. Bufa, Alvin Otieno.
I'm looking forward to meeting you, Bufa.
Yes, and he's a very famous rugby player, by the way. I think the country loves this guy.
Because I don't know, I don't watch rugby.
No, if you just look at any billboard rugby, he's always on it. He's and I tell you, as a person, he has a really great heart. Genuine, he's a very genuine, straightforward person, and a very great person at heart. So I sat down and I watched that game, and I said, you know what, I've made the step. Sometimes, by the people, you have to make the steps. You know, it's like I was seeing this prophetess, and it was the prophetess Teresa. She went and she had lunch with the man who raped her.
I can't.
She went and she had lunch with the man who raped her. She bought him lunch.
But
Yes.
I don't think I'll ever reach to that point of forgiveness.
And let me tell you, getting to that point of forgiveness is you have to realize that forgiveness is not about the other person, it's about you. You don't forgive people for them, you forgive them for you, to heal. And you see, I once talked about it on my Instagram, you have to know the role that you play or you didn't play in whatever happened to you. Because in every situation, there's a role that you played or you did not play. There's something you did or you didn't do that led to that. Case in point, yeah? Unaona watu wenye waliuliwa, let's say, wa kafu. Si ndio? Though we are not justifying, please don't take my words out of context that we're justifying killing. We are saying what the role they played in the death that happened during the curfew was they were outside during the time of the curfew. Was excessive force used? Yes. Did they deserve excessive force? No. But the role they played in that in that transpiration happening when they were outside when the curfew time was. Yeah, you see, whether it was for a genuine reason, like maybe someone was really sick in the house and they were dying, or whether it was a non-genuine reason, the fact is they were there, and that's why it happened. Someone was not akukujua na askari kwa nyumba yake 7 kwa nyumba yake akiwa ndani ya nyumba akafanya nini, akapigwa, si ndio? Amekaa kwa sitting room yake akapigwa. Even if you look at the boy who was shot in the slum, I think last week, by a stray bullet, what was he doing? He was playing in his house but kwa rails, kwa near the veranda, si ndio? Outside, and that's how he became a victim of circumstance.
So what are you saying? Like we should always be inside the house?
No, we're not saying that we should be inside the house. I'm saying that in everything that happens to us, there is a role that we play, whether directly or indirectly, that influences what happens to us and the outcomes that come. I'll also give my own personal example with the bullying incident. The how I contributed to it was that I was in the locker room at the same time with these guys. I was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
No.
I was
the right place.
No, I remember that day we were having class. It was a group class. And at that time I said that I want to go and ease myself in this bathroom A. The gym has 2 bathrooms, yeah? So there's this one here that's near the class and there's this one that's far. So I said I was going to vile niliona hao maboy wa rugby wametoka hapo because there had been an issue of, I don't want to make that too public because of insecurity, but no, there was a problem of stealing. Sindio? So I said I have to go to the washroom on that side. Ndio nione kama kuna mtu ataingia kwa bag yangu achukue, because I had left my phone in the washroom. Yeah? You know, it was either I leave my phone there or I take it to class. Na class walikuwa wamesema don't leave your phone in here. You see, you could also leave your phone on the counter. But I think there's a time I'd left it na mtu akamwagilia maji na kutumeka huko ndani, it was a whole issue. So I just switched it off and I put my phone in my bag. So I went with that, you know, in mind. So I was at the wrong place at the wrong time. And that was my contribution towards. Was the bullying I received appropriate? No. Did I deserve it? No. Does anyone deserve it? No. But there's a role people play in everything that happens to them. There's a role you subconsciously play, either by commission or omission. You either did something or you did not do something, and that causes that sort of like can catalyze whatever happens to you or does not. You see, like now, and that's one thing. Once you understand that, it becomes easy to forgive yourself, because you have to forgive yourself to forgive others. You have to forgive yourself for allowing them to cause you pain. No, you have to forgive yourself. The fact that nilikufanya ufeel hivyo hadi ukakuwa bitter is me who made it.
No.
Is me, I'm the one who caused it, but it would not have affected you. Weni mara ngapi wacha nikuulize? Si umekuwa huko kwa matatu huko. Si Makanga amesema tu shit tu saa ingine ukiwa tu hapo.
Yeah.
But you've never taken it to heart. Why? You never
I don't
allowed
care.
it. Exactly, you didn't care.
Yeah.
You didn't allow it.
Yeah.
You see, but when someone's words affect you, you have allowed it to affect you.
What if someone's actions, okay, like the case of the rape, I didn't allow that, not because I care that.
First of all, one thing everyone needs to know about rape is not about sex. rape is about power. That is one thing. It is someone who feels that that is why it is used as a weapon in war. That is why kwa war kila saa unaonanga ma countries fight unasikianga watu walirapiwa sijui women and children were raped because it's a power issue. It's taking someone's power from them because I've taken your power to consent to sex.
But I didn't consent.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've taken your power by force. It's forceful.
Yeah.
Like you as a person have a power to consent to anyone having sex with you.
Yeah.
Right? So when I take that forcefully from you, I've taken that power from you. I've viewed you as powerless.
Yeah.
Do you get?
Yeah.
That's why I can do whatever I want to do. That's why rape is a power issue. And that's why you'll see in those, when people are fighting in those wars, unapata au majeshi wanaenda huko, they rape the women and they kill the children. It's not because of anything, it's power. It's to show the men in that place you're powerless. We can do anything we want. It's about power. It's not about sex. It's using sex as a weapon to make someone powerless. And the minute you do that to a woman, you have violated her because you have taken away, you have forcefully taken away the power that she has to say no or to say yes. Do you get?
Yeah.
And that, because it's a power, it's an issue of power. That is why it is going to hurt you. Because someone made you feel powerless, defenseless. You don't him to,
Yeah.
you know. Because when someone makes you, that's why all of us admire powerful people. You see, they've taken away your how to be admired. You see, to be admirable. That's why people say when they are raped, they feel dirty, they feel used. That's the guilt that goes inside them. Why? Because it's taken away their power. Because it's force. It's been forceful taking away of power, someone's power. The power of someone to say no or to say yes. That has been taken away from them by force. And that's why when you're counseling someone who's been raped and you try to talk to them in that aspect, you have to first help this person recognize that it was not their fault.
Yeah, but you're saying that I enable you because I didn't do something or I did something.
That's what I'm saying. You did not enable it. You either enable or catalyze. You know what a catalyst is.
Yeah.
Speeds up
Yeah.
the process.
Yeah.
You get?
Yeah.
That doesn't mean you enabled. By the fact maybe that you omitted or you did not do something, it sped up the reaction. Than if you did something, it would have slowed down the reaction or even prevented it from happening. Do you see? It's like the people who go to a party and maybe get drugged and raped. The catalyst for the reaction was taking the drink. And you take the drink out of trust. You trust that it is fine. Right? So that in itself is an act of you catalyzed the reaction. You get? You sped it up by being trusted. So that's what I'm saying in everything, and that's the brutal truth. Many people don't like to hear the brutal truth, but it is the brutal truth. Even in the end of your relationship, the demise of your relationship, there is a role you had to play in it. And the minute everyone accepts the roles that they have to play in situations that happen to them, that is the part where you forgive yourself. Because before you forgive any other person, you have to forgive yourself. You have to forgive yourself for allowing or for being open and vulnerable to that attack.
Yeah.
You have to forgive yourself. Even for rape, you have to forgive yourself for being vulnerable. Because a lot of rape people say, maybe I didn't fight hard enough, maybe I didn't scream loud enough. You know, those are the things that go through their
Now that's
mind.
the guilt conscience.
Yeah, and you have to forgive that, because that's why I said it's power. Someone forcefully took your power from you,
Yeah.
your power of consent. So you have to forgive yourself for that. You have to forgive yourself for all these things. First and foremost, then you'll be able to forgive others. So when people say I can't do it or something, for me I had to forgive myself. I had to start forgiving myself for going to that changing room and not using this other one when I could have the opportunity to use this other one.
But you didn't know.
You never anticipate it would happen to you like that. But you see, me going there catalyzed the reaction, because when I went there, it was only 4 people who were in that changing room. The 2 rugby players, me and another guy, and that was when this incident happened. It didn't happen in front of the whole gym. Do you see? So I catalyzed the reaction. And by the way, it's a very bitter pill to swallow.
I'm having difficulties swallowing it.
It's a very bitter pill to swallow, but it is the truth. And it's the truth that many people do not want to hear. And that many people will come and realize later on, when you realize that this person who hurt you is happy and moving on with their life, and they're the only one who is miserable there.
That's true.
It's true. Many of these people, by the way, they just move on with their lives and they're happy after they've done what they've done. You're the one who's struggling with the pain. So you have to forgive people, not for them, but for you.
But I
And
can't
it's
reach
hard.
that level for that woman. That one. That one.
Let me tell you, when she
No.
did it, let me tell you, me, I respected her, because that is something, as you said, not many women would do.
Yeah.
Not many women would do. But that shows a level of forgiveness. Like amefika level nyingine ya unaona ile wanasemanga untouchables.
Yeah.
Ile kama kwa singers kuna Whitney Houston, the untouchables. Hapo sasa ndio level ya forgiveness
Yeah, I
yake
also
imefika.
respect her actually for
You
getting
know.
to that level, because
And even taking an apology from the man who raped you.
I wouldn't take it to make you feel better.
You know, she took it and she documented the whole process, and for me, I sat down there and I said, God, me, I want you to give me an ability to forgive like this woman, because me, I'm continuing here, I'm hurt. I'm hurt by the bullying that these rugby players did to me, Lord.
Yeah.
But these rugby players are moving on with their lives.
Yeah.
I'm the one who is carrying that pain. I'm the one who's carrying that heart on my own.
For me, I would forgive myself because I love myself and move on. But
No, you know, and
making
you
that
see what
other
I say.
person feel better. That now,
You don't make
has
you don't make
forgiven
them
me.
you don't make them feel
By me
better.
accepting the apology,
Let me
then
tell
they
you.
say sorry, I'm like, then I say, so yeah.
No, it's indifference. You need to get to a point where you become indifferent to the whole thing. Even to some of your exes, you need to become indifferent. You need to get to the point where you can actually have a conversation with your ex and be like, you know what? I don't know what I saw in you at that point in time. You're a good person, but what the fuck I see in you? You know, like, you know you've
That
reached...
comes later. That comes later.
And you see-
after you've moved on.
After, what is this moving on? This moving on starts with forgiving yourself that shit, I dated this person, shit, aki niliona you pussy, I love this person like nonsense.
tolerated all
I
this
tolerated this
crap.
bullshit. You've forgiven yourself for
Yeah.
that. Then from there, you forgive this person objectively, whereby you even see the good, because not everyone has a good side in them. Everyone. So you see, mtu alikuwa mpoa hapa ABCD,
Yeah.
but alikuwa mbaya hapa ABCD.
Yeah.
Once you see that from someone in that point of time as in the relationship, and you can see that,
Yeah.
you're good. Umejisamee na umemsamee.
Yeah, but the
And now you
level
can
for
have
that it depends with what you've done. For me, I don't know. It
It's
will
hard.
take time. Yeah,
It's
it's
hard.
hard to reach
It's hard,
that level.
and I can tell
And I
you,
don't
I can
think
tell
I want
you,
to reach
I can tell
that
you,
level.
insecurity, it was hard for me to sit down and watch Bufa play. Was the hardest thing
But you did it for your friend.
I did in this year. And I sat down and I watched every minute of that game. I even texted, because also Nelson Oyo is a very good friend of mine there, who was the captain at that time. I texted him, I told him, they actually watched your game. You know, for real, I actually did. And for me, it was a moment that was freeing because it showed that, yes, you know, I can't be saying that I'm going to accept people for who they are and I don't want to accept a rugby player. Guys, shit, what happened if one of my sons says he wants to play rugby? Am I going to kill myself now? Am I? You know. So, you know, and my cousins, two of my cousins are rugby players. I won't hate my cousins because they're rugby players. You see? So it's a point where, even for me, reckoning, it's a point where I have to say that I am going to go past it. I'm going to put this aside. Yes, it's going to be hard. Yes, it's going to have good times and bad times. Yes, there's a probability I'll still meet worse rugby players, but I'm going to go the distance and I'm going to improve on that particular aspect of myself. Because there's no way I can be telling people you have to accept people, you have to accept people who are LGBTQ, you have to accept disabled people, you have to accept different intermarriages, and you don't want to accept these people, you see.
The people who wrong.
The people who
but wronging is on different levels. Me, I'll just insist on that because I've been wronged before, and some I've let them slide, some I've forgiven them and moved on. Others I forgive myself, but I will not give that person the satisfaction of knowing at now Peter means now I can move on with life. No, you suffer with your guilt.
Sometimes I'm not even suffering with it, and that's the reality of the ground. It's like these people who keep saying, you know that person.
Guilty, you suffer with that.
Do you know, like the people? Me, I always tell people, you see, Vilatu Semanga, you'll come out of university, get a good job, and then just prosper like that.
The lies. The lies.
Let me tell you, there are people who are born rich. They'll come out of campus, they will get good jobs, rich jobs, and they'll keep staying rich.
Yes, and their families will continue
to prosper and flourish, and that's the reality of life. And there are people who are poor, they summered, they were brilliant, but they still remain poor. And it's the reality of life. Though there are still those variations that bottoms up approach Ruto anajaribu kuuza, but at the same time I can tell you for real, that's the reality of life. And when someone was born rich and they stayed rich and they had different opportunities, like I was teaching a student, a vocal student of mine, because I also help and teach voice, and she was telling me, she's a young girl, she's 16 years old, and she was telling me how, I think there's this Kenyan female singer who's called, I don't know, Nikita or something. I don't follow her or something. I don't know. So I think she was telling me about her and how she wonders how she's famous. Hash can also sing and she's not famous. I was like, if you look at her, because I went and checked out even her history. She's not she's not from a suffering family. She's not from a family where she suffered or anything. Mtu mwenye amesoma Brookhouse her whole life is not someone who suffered. You see, she's not suffered. Mtu mwenye, you know, you're not on a record label and they can put your billboards everywhere. You're not suffering. And one thing, and I told my student that you have to know that it is not her fault that she was born rich. It's not her fault. She should never be judged for it. You should never say she got famous because she got rich. No. You know, you should never say that. She just happened by the fact that, I can kind of sing. And, you know why I said kind of sing. I can kind of sing. And I'm in a rich household. Why not? And it's a career I want to pursue, and my parents can support me. They have the financial backing to support me. I'm networked with the best, with the current leaders in the industry who can also vouch for me.
Yeah.
And that's just about it, you know. And I still stand with my word, kinda see. I can kinda see.
Okay.
You might think otherwise, but you
No,
know
for me,
why
when
I
it
said
comes,
that
yeah,
statement.
for me when it
like
comes
that.
to the music industry,
It's
they-
exactly
I can't,
that. For me,
yeah.
even when my student asks me, oh my God, what do you think of her? I say, I think she's a decent singer, and that's just about it. It's decent,
Because
you
you're
know.
in love with Mariah Carey.
Not because I'm in love with Mariah Carey, because, okay, yes, I love Mariah Carey, I love Whitney Houston, but we're not going to pretend like they didn't exist. I'm not going to pretend like they didn't exist,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, they had amazing voices. Oh, Mariah
Not
still
had,
has.
have.
Whitney had.
Whitney is deceased,
Yes,
but
had.
she's still singing and she's still making music up to now.
How?
Mariah is still making music. Either way.
Whitney making music.
See, there's a song ametoa na Clean Bandit. Posthumous release. A voice like that lives forever. There's only one Whitney Houston, and that voice will live forever. That's what I'm saying. You can't say that this one is a oh my God singer when there was that. That was Whitney was oh my God.
Yeah.
So this can't be oh my God. No shade, but the truth. So it's the truth.
No comment.
So either way, yeah, regardless, you can't, your destiny, if you are rich and you've continued to flourish and be rich, good for you. Use it, make the money, make more money, build, continue growing the money.
Yeah.
If you're poor and you are just being Guy, mi nakwambia mi sijui hapo mtu anaanzanga aje. You know, there's someone who told me ati you usually become what your parents usually fall close. Apple never falls far from the tree. So kama wazazi wako walikuwa wana struggle, if you don't break that chain hata wewe uta struggle. There are people who by they say that. So it's crazy. By the way, it's crazy. And sometimes it does work because, you know, I'd say it works because there are certain levels like of tolerances. By the way, utapata mtu mwenye alilelewa kwa pesa na alilelewa vizuri, kuna vitu haezi tolerate. Because of the standard of life that they've been given. And because of that kind of, they'll clamor and they'll want more than that. Ni kama vile nakwambia, if you are earning a salary of $1 million a month, utakaa ruaka bedsitter ya 10,000.
Yeah, if
Where's
I'm an
he?
economist.
No, that's a lie.
If I'm a Maisa.
She is lying to you.
If I'm a Maisa.
Mtu anaendanga mahali mfuko yake iko. You can afford a house for 100,000, 900 unaifanyia nini per month? Ati?
Asiwezi.
No, you have $1 million as a
Does not
salary,
matter.
as a net salary.
Gosh, I cannot.
Ati gosh, I cannot.
I cannot.
She's lying to you people.
No.
She's lying. She's lying. She'll even start driving. Because you will start
driving, okay, but I cannot pay
driving.
salary
You will dress.
Hey,
You will
50
change your.
nimeenda
You will
sana.
change your dressing. You will change even where you go and hang out with people. Even the kind of guy that you will be dating will change, because I will not think that there's any man who will not first of all feel intimidated by that. And men, if you feel intimidated because your girlfriend is earning a larger salary than you, kindly either change your career or work hard.
Or leave her.
Yeah, or what she said. That I didn't want to say it directly, but she said it.
Yeah, because you'll end up hurting her.
Because
in the long run.
if for you it's going to be an issue, that is if it's going to be an issue
Yes.
for you.
Yes.
There are men, and that's like 1 in every 100 who it's never an issue for.
Yeah.
And that's because of, again, our culture. We've been nurtured that men have to be the ones who are providing and they will make, the ones who give to the home and everything.
Yeah.
And when the woman is, again also, you'll find a lot of ladies when they're the ones who are providing or doing more, wao ndio wanakuwa wa kusema. So they will not give you
for another day.
so they will not
That's
give
a topic for another
so they will
day.
not give you the respect. Me, I'm telling you, I've seen it practically. And it doesn't come out explicitly at that time. It comes out in arguments.
Yeah.
When people are in heated arguments, anaisema
Providingi.
anasema unaniambia nini na niko na more money, I'll just get a house and go.
I'll get out of my house
If I'm not paying, get out of my house. Unalipanga nini kwa hii nyumba? You see, that's how they speak.
Yeah.
So when they're enraged, and you see it will come out when you're angry, and that's why I said when you're angry, guy, if you can put water in your mouth and ukai hivyo ama uende utembe. Me personally nowadays I find when I'm seriously angry or upset, I usually make sure I sleep because it takes out all that for me.
Every time I used to be angry. The reason why I joined swimming team, because I used to be angry a lot in school. So I'll be like, I'm going to swim. I leave all my anger
in the pool.
Water.
By there you go. By there you go.
person.
You go and you overwork. You overwork in that pool. Mazeni I go. Nakwambia mi wendanga na swim. I can swim 400 by 6 or by 7 or by 8. 400 meters, my friend. Kwa pool dogo, that's 16 laps for 400. That's a 400 meter swim. 16 laps. You swim 16 laps times 6. That's about close to 100 laps. You're stress it okay. Then from there you go home and sleep. Eat and sleep, and you'll find the next day. Imagine if you can find ways to manage your anger than saying something that will potentially ruin and change the course of a relationship.
Yeah.
Do it. If you can't, stay silent. If you don't have anything positive or meaningful to say, shut the fuck up. Simple. Shut the fuck up. So, purity. But as we have so much to talk about.
But we've been talking for 3 hours straight. The videos, I'll cut it in episodes.
You guys will have so much to watch, by the way.
It's just
now
too
subscribe
much
kwa hii channel.
Exactly.
You subscribe because there's more that's coming. If there's any topic you guys want us to talk about, we will talk about it.
Yes.
So comment.
Uncensored.
Comment. We will not. You can see us. We're not censoring anything. You know, kila mtu ni mkubwa hapa. Hakuna mtu ana ID.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're not censoring anything. We're going to say it and say it bluntly. If you disagree, then put it in the comments. Let us see. If you agree, your opinions matter. Tell us. Share this video with people.
Yeah.
There are so many people whose lives are going to change through watching this.
Yeah.
So, let them also see.
So this is our first episode. No, the end of our first episode. It's season now.
Yes, season. We have so many. You have so much to edit.
This is season 1 because the episodes
and by
are many.
There was no script for this. We don't believe in scripting shows. Personally, I would not do this interview if it was scripted.
Yeah.
Or this talk.
Yeah.
Whatever, if it was scripted. I actually told Purity, I'm coming there. Whatever is there, we're discussing whatever is there. And we just go with the flow, and that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, and as you'll notice, as we Kizungu.
As you've noticed.
No, as you will have noticed.
As you will notice.
As you will notice.
Yeah. See, I notice,
as you will notice, like the topics are just all over because we're just coming up with these topics as we go along.
Yeah. So happy viewership. Make sure. Thumbs up, like, subscribe, comment, tell us.
Yeah.
Tell us if there's anything you want us to talk about. We're going to talk about it.
Whatever you don't agree with or you agree with, leave also
comments in the comment box. Hapo kwa comment section tuachie.
And so now we've come to the end of the show. Let's call it a show. I'll see you in the next vlog. Which itakuwa
when ndio tuambie mimi subscribe.
Okay, I'll see you next time. Season 2. Bye.